MAGA is collapsing. For real. The MAGA movement is collapsing in real time. They are panicking. And when I say panic, I mean genuine fucking panic. Steve Bannon just gave a speech at some CPAC event where he literally said, he was like, guys, if we lose the 2026 election, the midterms, I'm going to prison. And so are many of you in this room. This is existential. They are absolutely panicking. Dementia Donnie is doing like an Asia tour, and he can't stay on focus because as he's dementia ridden, he has dementia, and he can't stop talking about Thanksgiving. And he's like, I don't want to hear about affordability. Everyone can afford Thanksgiving this year. The price of Thanksgiving has gone down by 25%. He actually said the price of Thanksgiving has gone down by 25%. That's what he fucking said. This guy, again, MAGA, you are so unbelievably stupid for you to still support this man. You are pathetically stupid. Just fucking jump ship, be a grown man, use your fucking brain. Some douchebag big pharma guy collapsed in the White House and Trump just stands there looking at him like the fat idiot he is. Obviously, Steve Bannon saying he's going to prison. Donald Trump, he has so much dementia that he keeps getting lost in the White House. He can't find the Oval Office. Oh, wow, I don't know what's going on there. Avi is in the cube right now working, by the way. Avi is, I shrunk him down. He's in there with a hard hat and a hammer, fucking in there working. It's crazy. But Trump, he keeps getting lost in the White House, so they took printer paper and wrote the Oval Office on 3 different pieces of paper and slapped it on the fucking outside of it. We have so much to cover. We're going to dive in. I'm Chris Valenti. This is the Valenti VOD. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And always remember, this is real independent media. I am a douchebag from New York. I have no advertisers. I've never had a conversation with a billionaire, a government, or an advertiser, right? Which is why you can trust me. Everything I tell you is my real fucking opinion. Want to know why? Nobody's fucking paying me to shill for them. Thank you for the $20 donation, Corey. But if you do want to support this channel, because this is real independent media, you can buy merch like the Democratic Socialist merch or the all the other merch. We got shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me. You can click the join button down below to become a member, and you can become a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much for all the recent subs. Thank you for all of the money. Without further ado, we got to dive right into this shit because I'm geeking, bro. I'm geeking. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is a video. First of all, Donald looks horrendous. His hairpiece, his toupee looks fucking horrendous. But I want you to listen to Donald Trump quite literally do the equivalent of plugging your ears and going, la 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 la, no, prices aren't going up, prices are going down. So to you, MAGA voter, who sees the price of your groceries, an old school term, a very old school term. If you, MAGA voter, who's seen the prices of your groceries go up and the prices of gasoline, no, it isn't. According to Donald, no, it isn't. Don't believe your lying eyes, and you will still support that. You will unironically pay more for groceries and then say you're paying less for groceries because you're an inferior dog person that cannot admit that you voted for a dumb fucking fascist. But I can admit it for you. You voted for a dumb fucking fascist because you're dumb. So now let's watch Donald Trump admit, yeah, no, there is no affordability crisis. You're lying.
Talk about the cost of Thanksgiving and the cost of living through Thanksgiving and enjoying Thanksgiving. For Joe Biden, it was 25% more than it is for me. At a later time, our energy costs are way down, our groceries are way down, everything is way down.
All of these are lies, by the way. All of those are lies. And I don't need to tell you that. You go to the grocery store. Dude, the other fucking day, I went to the grocery store to get a goddamn bag of trash bags, right? Like, you know, like the fucking trash bags. $22. $22 for trash bags?
And the press doesn't report it. The press reports whatever the con people say. You know, I called the Democrats con men.
Oh, yeah. And Jack Nelson just pointed this out. The other day, Trump said, he goes, there's this new word they're throwing around. It's called affordability. It's a new word. No, it's a new word for you because you are a Nepo baby and you were born into millions of dollars and your dead father granted you like, what was it, $5 million? As a loan. He gave me a loan of $5 million. You have never earned anything in your entire life. You're a morbidly obese, orange fascist fuck. You have ridden the coattails of all of the people who are successful around you. You were ostracized by the New York community, and now that New York has rejected you again, you're out for revenge. You're gonna send ICE into New York City, you're gonna try to deport Zohran Mamdani, and you're gonna get your fucking shit pushed in, bitch boy.
Women, they make up numbers. But when you look at 25% reduction in costs for Thanksgiving between Biden and me, meaning this administration, that's a tremendous number. That's a tremendous.
So he's talking about, like, he called it a powerful Walmart report. I don't know what a powerful report is, but he's talking about how there is like a Walmart Thanksgiving meal kit, right? Comes with like everything, right? And the price of the Walmart Thanksgiving meal kit has reduced by 25%. Because they dropped the number of items on it from 21 to 15. That's a sign of a recession, Donnie, you dumb fuck.
The biggest reduction in cost in the history of that chart, or whatever it is they do, that they do a synopsis of everything. They cover every element of Thanksgiving meals, 25% down. So I don't want to hear about the affordability, because right now we're much less. If you look,
you hear that, MAGA voter who's struggling? He said, I don't want to hear about affordability. So shut the fuck up, MAGA voter. Shut your stupid fucking mouth. That's not coming from me. That's coming from the Fuhrer. Oh, you can't afford glow threes? Shut your stupid fucking mouth. Yes, you can. La 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 la. Again, that's not me. That's the guy you voted for. And again, I need you to understand, you can still jump ship. I know I'm bullying you, but I'm bullying you because you still support Donald. As soon as you jump ship and say, I no longer support Donald, I'm going to welcome you with open arms. Everyone in the chat is going to welcome you with open arms. Seriously, guys in the chat, let them know, if you abandon Trump, you officially join the OAL, the only Americans left. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Anarchist, Socialist, Liberal, I don't care. As long as you understand that Donald fucking Trump is a threat to democracy, you're on my goddamn team.
Getting close to $2 a gallon gasoline.
Okay, if you think that we're getting close to a $2 a gallon gasoline nationwide, you're brain dead.
With Biden, it was $4.50, $5. Another thing, inflation. We had the worst inflation.
Oh, just so you guys know, also, we're not going to cover it in this video, but Marjorie Taylor Greene has completely abandoned MAGA. Marjorie Taylor Greene is going on this publicity tour. She went on CNN. She went on The View. She went all over the place, and she said that, like, no, Donald Trump is lying. Mike Johnson is a fraud. I want the Epstein list released. She said that she demands the certification of, what is her name, Adelia Grimalda or whatever? I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. The member of the House, or maybe it's Congress, who was voted in but still hasn't been sworn in because she would be the final vote to release the Epstein files. I need you to understand this, MAGA voter. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a dumb, hideous cunt, okay? And even she is more based than you. The woman who said there are Jewish space lasers melting Hawaii. The woman who said Nancy Pelosi committed treason and treason is punishable with execution. That crazy bitch can see reality clearer than you because you're in a cult. Because you follow a fascist dictator who tells you how to think and you're too scared to think for yourself. You are now further to the right than Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene. Abandon ship before you hit the fucking iceberg.
Inflation in the history of our country. Now we have virtually no inflation at all.
Now we have virtually no inflation. Again, MAGA voter, if you think there's no inflation, you're brain dead, you're brain dead, you're brain dead.
At a very low number and a very normal number. So the affordability is much better with the Republicans. The only problem is the Republicans don't talk about it. And Republicans should start talking about it. And
you just said stop talking about affordability. Oh my God, he can't even make his mind up.
Use their heads, because we have great numbers. We have greatest, and they're going to only get better when all these jobs open up, all these factories open up that are being built all over our country. I mean, we are building auto plants. We're building AI plants.
I love that you say you're building auto plants. Hey, if the United States works on free trade, why can't we have Chinese phones? Why can't we have Chinese cars? Oh, is it because they're so much better and they're so much cheaper that it would literally cripple the American economy? It would show that we are a pathetic nation that can't create fucking anything. You know that you can get an electric vehicle, a new electric vehicle for $8,000 in China? A new one for $8,000. Their phones blow ours out of the fucking water. Everything China does is better than us. And we pretend it's not real because we refuse to allow their goods in our market.
We're leading in AI over China and everybody else.
We are not leading in AI. Oh my God, it's cope. He's coping. It's copium. He's injecting copium straight into his fucking fat leaking veins.
When all of these plants start opening, we're going to have a revolution, a positive revolution, economic revolution.
Oh no, we're going to have a revolution, Donald. It ain't going to be that.
Like never before. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, everybody. But don't worry, guys. I got more for you. It does not end with that. Now we're going to move on to... I just want you to see the type of man Trump is. This has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that this old geriatric big pharma motherfucker who was responsible for millions of deaths collapsed and had a seizure, which filled me with joy. But I want you to watch how Donald Trump reacts. This guy goes down. Here he goes. Dude, imagine Dr. Oz running in there. Is anybody a doctor? But look at Fat Boy. Look at Fat Boy just standing there.
Ooh, what is that? Ew. Ew, is it contagious? Am I gonna get sick? Ew. Why? Ew, why is he on the ground?
So, yeah, I just thought that was a funny moment. We did find out that the guy who passed out was a big pharma CEO, so you do not have to pity him. You should actually be happy that that happened to him. Now, we're going to move on to some big shit. Steve Bannon at this Conservative Partnership Academy, he says, with no ifs, ands, or buts about it, he says, if we lose the 2026 midterms, I'm going to prison, and so are many of you in the crowd. And he's correct. You are going to prison, and you are going to lose the 2026 midterms. And when you're in prison, we're going to use you as fucking free labor because you decided to keep that in the 13th Amendment. Slavery's legal, bitch, as long as you're a prisoner. And guess what, Steve? You're going to be a prisoner. Same thing to you, ICE agent. I can't wait to use you as a fucking slave.
And I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
Yes, you are! Thank you for that fucking advertisement, Steven. Dude, this is what we should be running over and over again as we move into the 2026 midterms. Yeah, oh, Avi changed the cube! Avi's in the cube. I told you, he's in the cube.
They're not going to stop. They are getting more and more and more radical.
Yes, we are.
And we have to counter that. And what do we have to counter it with? We have to counter it with more action.
He's saying we have to counter it with Nazism, right? So Steve Bannon is a groyper. He's one of the Nick Fuentes guys. I don't know if you know this. There is a MAGA civil war going on right now. There is the side of MAGA that is beholden to Israeli dollars, and because of that, they cannot accept any anti-Israel sentiment, and they say that all anti-Israel sentiment is anti-Semitic. Then there's the other faction of MAGA, which is the Nick Fuentes Nazi groypers, right? Now, Steve Bannon is saying we need to just straight up adopt Nazism, and you're seeing this divide with like Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh because Ben Shapiro is a Jew, and even though he created this monster, the monster is coming to eat him because, surprise, surprise, Nazis don't like Jews, Ben. You shouldn't have created a fucking Nazi army.
More intense action, more urgency. We're burning daylight. If you look across every aspect of this, we have to codify what President Trump has done by executive order, right?
This is because they know if they lose the 2026 midterms, we're going to reverse everything Donald Trump did.
We have to codify it. And people say, well, they're just going to be messing bills. Senate. We got to put aside these structural barriers and get on with it. President Trump today gave.
Hear what he just said? We got to put aside these structural barriers and just get along with it. He's saying forego all rules. Is it in goon mode? It's in goon mode. He's saying we need to forego all rules and just like Donald Trump said, he did say this direct quote. He said, we need to forego all rules and regulations, including those within the Constitution. So that is what we're moving into.
To the Senate when they came over for breakfast, even Lindsey Graham, some of the guys that liked, and some of these institutions, I understand this is a very tough decision to make. And you're going to see some people in the conservative movement that not in a million years, because I talked to him today, quite frankly, I had Hawley on the show this morning, Josh Hawley, and he's talking about it, and I'm trying to play the institution. Well, they called me up this afternoon and said, let's go through the 10 reasons we need to do it. And these are heavy hitters on what I would call the constitutional, the limited government constitutionalist in our movement. And they're about to come out over the next couple of days and make this argument because it said, look, we have to understand that if we don't take this to the maximum, a maximalist strategy now with a sense of urgency, and in doing this, seize the institutions.
Seize the institutions. By the way, he's calling the constitutionalists his enemy. He is saying that there are going to be Republicans who stand by the Constitution and they will be in the way. And he's saying we need to completely forego them, abandon the Constitution, and just install him as a dictator.
If we don't do that now, we're going to lose this chance forever.
Yes,
because
you
you're
will.
never going to have another Trump.
No, you're not. You're never going to have another Trump because we're not going to do what Obama did. We're not going to say we're going to look forward, not backwards. We are going to hold all of your toes to the fire. Stephen Miller, you're going to prison. Pam Bondi, you're going to prison. Kash Patel, you're going to prison. Caroline Leavitt, you're going to prison. Steve Bannon, you're going to prison. I know Donald Trump isn't going to go to prison because the Supreme Court already ruled that the president cannot be held responsible for any action he commits as the president. And that's what I've been trying to say. I've been trying to, hey, dumbass fucking ICE Nazi, do you think he's going to come save you? You think Donald Trump is going to save you? He's not. He's going to leave you in the fucking dust to rot. The same way, excuse me, burp. The same way that he did to his own vice president, Mike Pence. When they built a gallows and were chanting, hang Mike Pence, Donald Trump did nothing. He would have been totally okay with it as long as he could become the fucking president again. Now, we're going to move on to Dementia Donnie and how hideous his Oval Office is. Again, this is not bootlicking. This is shoving the boot clean up your fucking ass. So, Donald Trump and his dumbass fascist 14-year-old Nazi groiper loser fucking staffers took printer paper and scotch tape and taped the Oval Office on 3 different pieces of paper outside of the door. This is not in the White House. This is outside of the White House. Now, they're doing this because Donald Trump has such bad dementia that he keeps getting lost in the White House. He doesn't know where he is. He thinks he's in Mar-a-Lago. It's way worse than they're letting us know. And that is like how they're almost like a sheep, how they have to corral him into his pen. And then this guy, I don't know who this guy is, but I do know that he would suck Donald Trump clean and then thank him for it. Says, I absolutely love what President Trump is doing with the Oval Office. This is class. If that's class, I don't think I ever want to fucking hang out with you, bro. You seem like the type to smoke a bowl of crack and be like, now that tastes delicious. This is not class. This is a complete lack of class. It's unbelievably pathetic. Now, we're going to move on to the federal judge. So, as you know, Donald Trump cut SNAP benefits for 40 million Americans, 18 million of which are children. This is because the Trump fascist regime wants you all to die. That's why they're taking away your health care. That's why they're taking away your food stamps. If you're dead, they don't need to spend money on the social safety nets that keep our society going, and they can use that money to cut the taxes for the 1%. This is why Donald Trump cut pediatric cancer research. This is why Donald Trump cut Meals on Wheels. All of these things are irrefutably good for society, but you can take that money and use it to cut the taxes for the billionaires. So again, the Trump regime wants you to die. That's irrefutable. Facts don't care about your feelings. And so Donald Trump was asked a question by a reporter like, hey, a federal judge ruled that you must give SNAP benefits to these people and you are ignoring it. Why are you doing that? Now, Donald is such a baby back pussy bitch that he refused to answer the question, and he goes, why don't you answer this, JD? And JD Vance goes on this rant talking about how horrible this ruling is, and I need you to fucking watch this.
Mr. President, a federal judge said tonight that the administration has to fully fund SNAP. It's the latest in the back and forth, and the Justice Department said they're going to appeal it. What's your message to folks as they work this out in the courts and in Congress as we're heading into Thanksgiving?
You want to go with it?
Yeah.
You wanna go? Is that what he just said? I think I got a quote here from the president. I think he said, you wanna go? Let's see if I'm right. Hold on. Let's see if I'm right.
As we're heading into Thanksgiving.
You want to go with it?
Okay, so the quote is, you wanna go with a bit? That's the quote from the president of the United States, folks.
Yeah, look, Jackie, it's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge.
It's an absurd ruling. The ruling is you must give SNAP benefits to the. It's not about that you must get. It's that you already have the money. We already paid the taxes. I already paid for this, and I'm okay with my tax dollars going to feeding hungry children. Okay, we paid taxes for SNAP benefits. You have the money. Federal judge has ruled you must spend the money that was allocated for SNAP on SNAP. And this guy goes, "Oh, it's a terrible, terrible ruling." Let's watch it again.
Giving.
You want to go with it?
Yeah, look, Jackie, it's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown.
Do you not know that that's how a democracy works? Yeah, federal judge tells you what to do. Dude, that's just what the democratic institution is. Oh my God, you're actually just fascists.
Which what we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other good things for the American people. But
no, you can't. You haven't done anything good for the American people, not one thing. And I challenge every single MAGA voter to tell me one legislation from the Trump regime that has benefited your life more than it's benefited the billionaires. You can't do it. You literally can't do it. Comment down below. Try.
In the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation. We're trying to keep as much turned on. We're trying to keep as much going as possible. The president and the entire administration are working on that, but we're not going to do it under the orders of a federal judge. We're going to do it according to what we think we have to do.
Oh, so okay, so just federal judges mean nothing to you. I need you to understand, guys, no laws apply to these people. They genuinely think they're kings.
To comply with the law, of course, but also to actually make the government work for people in the midst of the Democrat government shutdown. If they would like to end this, we would welcome working with them to end this government shutdown.
No, because if Democrats bend the knee to you, you're going to take away health care for 60 million Americans. You've already done it. Just so you know, everybody's premiums have doubled and tripled. If you have a health care premium and you haven't paid it yet, the next time you pay, it's going to be at least double the cost. This is Donald Trump's fault because he is taking your health care hostage so he can take away your food stamps. They want to take away food stamps and health care in a nation where the number one cause of bankruptcy is medical bills. They want you to starve and die.
And then we wouldn't have to triage what we're going to fund and what we're not going to fund. And the last thing that I'll say is the American people are unfortunately about to start suffering some very real consequences because of the shutdown.
Yep, your fault.
In the past, when you had a government shutdown, you would have, under the Obama administration, they would lean into all of the problems it was going to cause for the American people at the beginning of the shutdown. The president has told us to keep his...
Do you think we'll be able to dethrone these fascist idiots before 2028? Yes, I believe that if we win the 2026 midterms in mass, goon mode again, if we win the 2026 midterms in mass, Donald Trump will be removed from office and almost every member of his cabinet will be thrown in prison for life. I don't want justice. I want fucking revenge.
Much going as humanly possible, but after 30 days of this thing, 40 days of this thing, you're going to start seeing very real travel delays. That's because the Democrat government shut down. You're going to start seeing SNAP benefits run out. That's because the Democrat government...
No, it's not. Nothing about the shutdown had anything to do with SNAP benefits. That was done after this. Trump literally said that he is holding that SNAP benefits will be released when the government shutdown ends, and no time before. You are literally holding food stamps hostage because you are psychopathic murderers.
Shutdown. They should stop the charade and open up the government. That's what we want them to do. We've been asking them to do it for 40 days. It's time.
And one other thing, our country has to remain very liquid because problems, catastrophes, wars, could be anything.
This is why he keeps on waging wars.
We have to remain liquid. We can't give everything away based on a number. Here's an example. When I was president, the number that you're talking about was a tiny fraction of what it is now. Biden went totally crazy, gave it to anybody that would ask, gave it to people that were able-bodied, had no problem. Anybody that would ask, we get the...
Wrong. 60% of all SNAP recipients have a job. It's because in the United States of America, we don't pay living wages. These people are working 8 hours a day and they still can't afford to feed their children.
And it's many times the number of people are on. This wasn't meant for that. It was meant for people that had real problems, in many cases, people that were down and out.
Also, you will take it away from them too. Why are you pretending like you like poor people? You have made it abundantly clear that you fucking hate poor people.
People that could be saved. It wasn't meant for people that could do whatever they want. The people that say, well, I don't think I'll work, I'll just, collect this money. Take a look at the number of what it was during my administration and what it was during the Biden administration. It went up many, many times my first term.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to Donald Trump claiming that he got $2 trillion investment from South Korea, which is like, I think it's more than their yearly GDP, bro. Again, MAGA voter. Trump claims he's brought in $21 trillion. That is more money than we've made, I think, in like our country's entirety. So if you believe that, I can't negotiate with you. You're actually an inferior dog person and your brain doesn't work properly.
What we've done is pretty amazing. We were with the president of South Korea. We went to Malaysia and lots of other places and had a lot of meetings while in South Korea. And I think it was a tremendous period of time. We took in at least $2 trillion
Complete fucking lie. Complete fucking lie.
pouring into our country. There's never been anything like it. We have.
Yeah, you're right. There's never been anything like it because you haven't even received $1 trillion from all of the nations that you claim. You claim you got $20 trillion from like 30 different nations. You haven't even received $1 trillion.
Almost $18 trillion of investment. And by the time we finish out our first year, we probably will have about 20 or 21 trillion with a T, trillion dollars of investment.
But guys, again, I can't stress this enough. That's not true. That is the most bold-faced lie that there is. It's already been proven. He is lying. You're not allowed to disagree with me. This is not opinionated. That's a lie. If you disagree, you're wrong and stupid.
There's never been anything like that in the history of the world. Not just.
Yeah, you're right. There's never been anything like that in the history of the world because it's not fucking real, Donald. Now, the last thing I want to show you is Fox News host and alcoholic Secretary of War Pete Hegseth giving the most delusional puppet show. The guy's a fucking monkey in a suit. This alcoholic fuck. I can't explain to you what you're about to witness. You just have to witness it.
Turned to his assistant and said, "Go get me my phone." See. Boop, 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 boop. Ready? Boop.
Do you know what that was in reference to? Bombing civilians on Venezuelan fishing boats. Let's watch that again now that you know the context.
Turned to his assistant and said, "Go get me my phone." See. Boop, 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 boop. Ready? Boop. The world, listen, F-A-F-O, all right?
To every single service member, that's the man that represents you. Boop, 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 boop. Ready? Boop. He thinks it's a game. This guy's a fucking pussy. Hey, Marine. Hey, sailor. Hey, airman. Hey, soldier. That's the one in charge of you and your life. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. That is the state of the United States military, the Department of War. And listen to the crowd laugh. We're talking about war crimes. We're talking about a fucking war crime, about murdering innocent civilians, judge, jury, executioner, hellfire missile, bang, dead. And this is how they refer to it.
See. Boop, 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 boop. Ready? Boop.
Unfucking believable, disgusting, criminal shit, criminal behavior. Pete Hegseth, I hope you know, you're going to fucking prison. Now, I want to close this off with one last thing. It has been over a year since Trump was elected, and they decided to post an AI-generated picture in celebration. Look at, he looks like a cadaver. Does this not look like a fucking cadaver? What the fuck is wrong with his lips and teeth? What the fuck is that? It's insane. And also, look, they tightened up his flapping turkey cunt. His flapping neck pussy. They tightened up his nussy. It's fucking, it's insane. So, That's all I've got for you today. MAGA is collapsing. Whether they're willing to admit it or not, their entire fucking world is collapsing around them. You could see it in comment sections. You could see it on Twitter. You could see it on TikTok. They're all panicking. They're fucking panicking, and it's giving me life. To every MAGA supporter, the ones who currently support MAGA, you're a fucking fascist. Socialism is coming for you, whether you accept it or not. Bend the fucking knee. Now, to everybody who voted for Donald Trump, you can abandon ship. You can still be an American. If you still support Donald Trump, you are an enemy of the American people. You do not get to claim the American flag. You can claim the MAGA flag. Without further ado, I'm out of here. I'm Chris Valenti. This has been the Valenti VOD. If you're watching this live, you stay. We got more news to cover. If you're watching this pre-recorded, thank you very much for staying to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers.